What's going on, GPC fans out there? Welcome back to another video of mine. I'm your trainer Josh, and I'll be bringing you my Week 2, Season 5 Team Builder and Match versus the Munchlaxer United, I believe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the Munchlaxer United. And it's King Bub. You might know him. He's pretty well known around the competitive community. Has a good amount of subs, does a good amount of stuff, and I recommend you check him out. He's pretty cool. Really nice dude. I enjoyed his presence, and I hope we keep in touch after this match. But anyways, let's get to the point. Wasn't really able to find time this week. It was my first week of school. Just trying to organize all my stuff and all that. And plus I have my ISCL Season 3 draft today. So I was trying to prepare my drafts and make sure I had a good enough team. Unlike last year, my team was just terrible. But yeah, that's basically what it comes down to. And as you can see, my team builder is right here, and I'll pull out my opponent's team right now. I have my speakers in, and the slightest move may cause them to disconnect, and it may mess up with the the audio. And it's pretty early in the morning. I just woke up literally 20 minutes ago, so I may sound pretty out of it. My voice may be kind of raspy, and I might even be a little bit, what's the word? You might not be able to recognize what I'm trying to say, because normally in the mornings I'm pretty out of it, and I may mutter or stutter quite a bit, so it's kind of bad. Anyways, well, my team is loading. Let me explain the situation. I didn't really get to battle until Friday evening, and as you can tell, GPC battles are supposed to be posted by Saturday, and as you can tell, today is Saturday. I was going to record it last night, but I couldn't. For some reason, my program wasn't working, and being the stupid person that I am, I probably should have thought of restarting my computer, but I didn't do that, because I was probably tired. I felt like it wasn't even worth it, and yeah, I basically wasn't able to record my team builder last night, so as a result, I'm just going to do both today. Not really much of a problem. Anyways, we're almost done loading here. I'm sorry for the interruption. It's probably should have had this set up beforehand, but I'm not gonna restart this, and But yeah, it was pretty cool. I'm 1-0, and I had a 5-0 differential after I could have won a 6-0, could have gotten a 6-0, and I also found out that my draft, according to Rufus, is number 1, just draft alone, and that's pretty cool. That's the first time I've ever actually gotten number 1 when it comes to an actual draft. I've been number 1 overall as a battler, but as an actual draft, normally my team did pretty bad, and I guess this one was actually pretty decent. And the thing is, I didn't even have a draft plan. I was like, you know what, Mega Scissors pretty cool. I used it once and it was a failure. I'll see if I'll try it one more time. If it's a failure, then I'll never use it again. And that was basically what I was thinking about. So I was like, okay, what could I draft around Mega Scissor? Of course, I got Manaphy the last round of the first round, which is pretty cool. And man, this is taking forever. I don't know why. This is, you know what? There's a pause button. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna pause and I'll be right back. Anyways, we are back, and his team consists of Kieran Black, Gengar, Vaporeon, Gliscor, Mega Aerodactyl, Hitmontop, Ferrothorn, Electros, Espeon, and Munchlax. Pretty threatening stakes. I'm really scared of the Munchlax, not gonna lie. That thing sets up a good amount of curses. Banning Munchlax does a good amount to my team. I'm just kidding, guys. My biggest worry was Gengar and Mega Aerodactyl, since Mega Aerodactyl can literally hit everything for super effective damage if it really wanted to. And the main set I figured he was going to bring was Stone Edge, Fire Fang. What else was I thinking? I was thinking Aqua Tail for Piloswine and the Fog or Roost. And that's pretty much what I figured he would bring, and that's kind of what I built my team around. I built my team around trying to stop Mega Aerodactyl, and the second most threatening Pokemon to my team was Gengar, so I built my team to try to stop an offensive Gengar, as you'll see. And basically the other Pokemon that he has in his team, Kieran Black, I'm really not all too scared of, because if he's choiced, he has a pretty tough time versus my team, so he probably can't run a choiced Kieran, meaning my Latias could pretty much deal with it pretty easily, unless he's like Hamon Berry Kieran Black, which could potentially be a problem. But as long as I have priority with my Ice Shard and my Bullet Punch, I should be okay. Not to mention, If he does try to speed creep my team, he might not run enough. He might not run enough speed to outspeed my Manectric spread, as you'll see. Anyways, let's get to the team. Of course, my team is the same as always, but if you don't know my team, I'll go over it pretty quick. My team is, of course, Manaphy, Togekiss, Mega Scizor, Arcanine, Latias, Piloswine, Virizion, Manectric, and Gigalith. And of course, making a return after last week is Piloswine, Mega Scizor, Togekiss, and my Manectric. First set we're going to go over is my Manectric, fully defensive, but not a defensive nature, because I wanted a little bit more boost by attack, because with this much attack and adamant nature, I'm able to pretty much take out a Mega Aerodactyl with Ice Cold Crash plus Ice Shard guaranteed, unless he's really invest into HP or defense, which I kind of figure he might be, because all he needs to do is outspeed 350 with Latias, and it doesn't take a lot with a Mega Aerodactyl, so I don't know. But I know after rocks it's definitely guaranteed. And anyways, as I was saying, I have dual ice because I felt like Roar wasn't needed, and I felt like I didn't need any other coverage move, and priority there is just good versus team. It potentially stops Gengar if it's low enough, and it does a good amount to Gengar overall, because Gengar's not the bulkiest Pokemon in the world. And this Pokemon also really deals with Gliscor, which is really cool. And an Earthquake does a good amount to a defensive Vaporeon. It doesn't really appreciate it because, Piloswine's a god. But yeah, I just felt like running max HP, max defense. It's my best check to Mega Aerodactyl. In all reality, I probably could have ran like an Impish Nature, but I kind of wanted to be a little bit more offensive. I wanted to have some offensive presence, and that was my reasoning for running an Adamant Nature before attack, because it really does make a difference. Anyways, my next Pokemon is which one should I go over next? I'm going to go over my Gengar check. My Castleberry Latias. I don't have a name for this thing. As you'll see in the battle, I don't have a nickname, and I kind of forgot. That's just my fault. I didn't really think of one in time, and as a result, it's just going to be Latias in the match. Nothing I can do about that. Anyways, I got to blow my nose. I'll be right back. And we're back. My Latias set, as you see right in front of your faces, is, Dual Stab, Roost, and Toxic. Roost is because I can roost on a good amount of Pokemon in this team. I can roost on the Gliscor potentially. I can potentially roost on the Vaporeon. I can potentially roost on the not really the Ferrothorn, but the Hitmontop I can roost up on. And potentially Electros and potentially Espeon, but Espeon kind of deal with my Latias, but he doesn't know that. And I don't think he'll bring Latias anyways, because I have a Mega Scizor and Bullet Punch, so it does a million. And I don't think he wants to just lose Espeon like that. Basically, if I had to predict what he would bring, Kyurem Black, Gengar, Vaporeon, Gliscor, Mega Aerodactyl, and maybe Electros, maybe Ferrothorn, maybe Hitmontop, because he might want the hazard removal with Hitmontop, but if he doesn't bring that, then it'll probably be the Fog Mega Aerodactyl, because that would just make sense. Because if you have a Kyurem Black, you kind of want some hazard removal unless you're Joey Pokemon, but that's a different story. Anyways, yeah, I'm running max speed, max special attack. I could have run a little more bulk, not gonna lie, because I really didn't need max special attack to really deal with his team. But I kind of built this team really fast. It was on Thursday, and I just wanted this team built. I could have edited the EVs so I can have a little bit more bulk, but I didn't really do that. But as you'll see in the match, it doesn't really matter. Might matter. Anyways, yeah. Side Shock is of course for the Gengar. It hits Vaporeon pretty hard because it hits it on the base 60 defensive side. And even if he's max defense, it'll do a good amount. And with Toxic, he doesn't beat me 1v1 because I have more Side Shocks. And Roost and he has Seal Bells as well as Toxic. Basically, I win that match every time. The set can't touch Ferrothorn, which is fine because I have other checks to Ferrothorn, like my Mega Scizor. Literally cannot touch it. And if he brings Ferrothorn, he has to realize that Mega Scizor would always set up on it, no matter what, and he can actually just lose to it. Even though he does have a Gliscor, and I kind of expect the Fire Fang Gliscor, because it stops Mega Scizor really well. In the TTM20, I ran Fire Fang Scizor for Shadi's Gliscor. For Shadi's Scizor, and it didn't even work, because I sacked it, and I lost the match for that reason. But that's not the point. That is not the point. The point of this Latias is that I know Gengar's coming, and if I don't have a good set to take it on, I lose to it. So I need the Psyshock. And the reason why I'm also max speed is because he might bring HP Fire Gengar for my Mega Scizor, just for that. And if he is HP Fire, I outspeed by 1 point. And I can also just speed tie it, and there's always that 50-50 chance. Anyways, I've been going for a long time. I need to just go through the sets. My next Pokemon is my pretty offensive Scizor. I could have ran more defense if I really wanted to, but I just wanted a max attack. I really wanted some power. And with the Bullet Punch, U-turn, Roost in the Fog, basically dual stab, U-turn, Roost in the Fog. My original Defogger was Togekiss, but I realized Togekiss would want to be more of an offensive presence towards his team. And as a result, I kind of needed to take out Defog because I kind of had no other choice. And I put it on Scizor before. I think I had Toxic on Scizor, or it was knockoff I had on Scizor before. But I felt like it was just better to have Defog. And that's basically it. It's max HP, so I could take a couple hits. I take 1 Fire Fang from Aerodactyl, I think. I'm not 100% sure. I can pull out the calc, but I won't do so. But I'm pretty sure I live 1 Fire Fang from full. If he's adamant, I don't know. I actually didn't do the calc, but I'm putting this in my mind I'm thinking Mega Scizor can eat at least 1 because it's bulky. It's way too bulky. Just die to 1, and I can kill a Bullet Punch pretty easily. It's a roll if he isn't HP invested. It's like 93 to 107%. It's like a mid roll to kill him if he isn't HP invested, I'm saying. And U-turn does a good amount to Vaporeon, does a good amount to Kyurem Black if he switches in for some reason. And it's meant to pivot around his wall that he might bring for it, like Hitmontop, Gliscor, and Electros. I can also use this thing to whittle down Electros pretty easily, and I can pivot around my Electros plus like Piloswine, and I can whittle, and I believe Piloswine might actually just outspeed. It depends if he's a quiet nature or not. Anyways, my next Pokemon is my Togekiss. Pretty cool set, pretty cool EVs. I have enough EVs to outspeed it. Not a very speed invested Gliscor, but a speed invested Gliscor. And if he isn't speed invested Gliscor, I outspeed it and I can just air slash it to death. And I have max special attack with a modest nature because I felt like the power was there. And especially with T-Wave, I would be okay. And this actually isn't leftovers, I promise you. It was actually Chartyberry. So apparently my recording actually, died off. So I'm gonna hope I can just connect the 2 matches together. Otherwise, I'm gonna be in a bit of trouble. Anyways, this is a Togekiss, and it's there to T-Wave the Mega Aerodactyl, and if I can T-Wave the Mega Aerodactyl, I'm not scared of it anymore. And I have Air Slash for flinches and stab and such. I have Flamethrower for the Ferrothorn if he decides to bring it, and I can just flinch his whole team down. I can't T-Wave Espeon, but I don't think he'll bring it, like I said before. And if he does bring it, I have counters. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If he decides to try to stun edge me, I live it, and I just go for, a T-Wave, and he isn't that much of a problem anymore. And the odds of me actually getting a flinch plus a para with Air Slash is pretty good. It's pretty good. Like, I believe if I did the math correctly, I believe the odds of him actually breaking through a para plus flinch is the odds of you missing a Hurricane, which we all know is actually pretty good odds. So, anyways, let's go on to my specially defensive Manaphy. It's for Gengar. If I knock off that thing's life orbit, it's not much of a problem anymore. And I have the Rain Dance Rest for, HP and such. I kind of get walled by Vaporeon, and I realize that, and I actually give it a boost with Scald. But you know what? I have Latios. That thing kind of walls it. As long as I don't get burned, I don't really mind. And that's basically Manaphy. My full-on Gengar check, unless it's whittled down. If it's at like 60%, it's not much of a check anymore. Anyways, this is the Pokemon I feel I can sweep at the end. Salicberry, Endure, Manectric. And as you can see, I'm modest because I want to boost. And as I was saying before, Kyurem Black, if he doesn't run enough speed to outspeed a modest Manectric, I can actually just outspeed it purely, and I can potentially whittle it down with Flamethrower or T-Bolt. But Flamethrower does like 30% to a standard Kyurem Black, and that's without defensive investment. That just proves how bad Manectric is and how good Kyurem Black is. But I'm just kidding. Manetric's been really great, and I'm hoping that if the Electros is whittled down, if he does bring Gliscor, it's whittled down because HP Ice doesn't. Well, no, HP Ice doesn't heal up from full, but it needs to be whittled down for it to actually kill. And I need Electros to be down, and I kind of need Vaporeon to be low for me to actually sweep at the end. But yeah, that's basically the team. Let's move on to the replay. Why? Okay, I see. I see. Anyways, where's the sound? So I can disable sound. Wait, where is the sound? It doesn't really matter. Anyways, I'm gonna put this on slow and switch sides. You just saw first plays of the game. Sorry about that. Anyways, looking at his team, I felt like Palestine was the best lead because it. Man, this is such a bad video. I'm sorry, guys. Anyways, Piloswine, it hits Aerodactyl and Gliscor super effectively. I'm gonna try to predict this Gliscor lead to set up Stealth Rock because Stealth Rock is pretty good against my team. Good, it hits Togekiss pretty hard, and I think if everybody knows, Togekiss is a pretty good Pokemon against every team in general, even if you resist its Air Slash. Anyways, yeah, so I'm going to do a Piloswine. I see leads with the Vaporeon, and I'm pretty sure he's not going to click Scald because I have a Latias, and I'm going to put this on slow. It's a little too slow for me. Anyways, yeah, I'm going to switch to my Latias because it's just my best play, and he actually doesn't have much to do with Latias, especially if he isn't a Choice Scarf Kyurem or a Habanberry Kyurem, but I lied. I go to my Manaphy because I can easily just heal on this thing, and he can't do anything to me. So he goes into DSL, the Electros, and I'm like, okay. I'm sure you're going to click Knockoff here, so I'm going to click Knockoff on my own, because I want to get rid of your Assault Vest, and I actually do predict the Knockoff pretty well. It's like, dang, that's pretty cool. He does crit me, and that kind of sucks, because now I'm not much of a check to Gengar anymore, especially since I lost my leftovers. But at least I got rid of the Assault Vest, and that's going to be a really good late game, as you'll see. Anyways, I go to my Latias, and he predicts that really well, goes for U-turn. I'm like, ooh, that actually kind of hurt. I calc that, and he has some attack, but not a lot of attack, because U-turn should not have been doing that much to me normally. Anyways, he goes into Aeropostale. I was kind of hoping he'd go into Gengar so I can kill the Gengar right then and there, but he doesn't. I go into my Scizor, and he goes straight for the Aerialist, I believe. Or does he go for Stone Edge? He goes for Stone Edge, actually, and he misses, which is really good for me. Kind of makes up for the crit, I guess, but he missed getting damage on a Pokemon that can hurt his team pretty well. Anyways, I kind of figured he would switch, and I go for U-turn here. Make kind of a bad play because could have actually whittled this thing down pretty well, and it would have been in a pretty good spot. And Aerialist does a good amount of damage. If Aerialist did that much, Stone Edge was going to do a million as a normal Scizor. So that's a pretty good thing I switched. I mean, I missed. That he missed. Anyways, he goes for Stone Edge, and I set up my Stealth Rock. It's pretty dandy time to do it. Anyways, he's going to go for the Roost here as I go for the Icicle Crash. And as you'll see, I actually do miss, which isn't the worst case scenario because now he can't Roost anymore because he's at full health, and Icicle Crash will be at its full power. He goes for Stone Edge, doesn't crit me, which is good. I'm going to go for the Icicle Crash, and I'm actually going to miss again, 2 Ys in a row. I'm like, wow, Piloswine, I know you can't see, but I know it's not that inaccurate of a move. But yeah, I missed 2 moves in a row, and he goes into Vaporeon as I go for Icicle Crash again. I hit this one, do 17%, 14%, meaning Earthquake would do like almost 40%, which is crazy. Anyways, I am now going to switch because I can't stay in. I'm pretty sure he's going to click Scald because he literally has no reason not to. I'm going to go to my Latias because I want this thing as healthy as possible because, as you can see, this team does not really do a good job in actually killing me, especially if I'm at full health. And I have a lot of offensive presence. Like I said, I'm max special attack. Anyways, I go for Roost, and he's actually going to go for the Roar. I guess he thought I was going to go for like Calm Mind. So now I know he has Baton Pass, Roar, and Scald, meaning he has to probably have Wish as his last move, meaning he doesn't have Fuel Belt, meaning if I do T-Wave the Aerodactyl, it's going to be T-Waved forever. Anyways, I go into my Young Swine, literally the worst Pokemon I could have gone into. And he goes for the Baton Pass, and I probably should have predicted that, but I didn't. I played really, really safely. And now he goes into Aeropostale, the Aerodactyl. And it's a pretty cool name, not gonna lie. And as you can see, like I said in the chat, that's when the miss mattered, because if I would have landed that Icicle Crash, he'd be dead. And he probably would have just sacked his Mega Aerodactyl right then and there, but it's still causing havoc to my team. And this is really bad. I go for Ice Shard, because I thought he would kill me, but he makes a really good play. He reads me really well here. He goes for Defog. And I'm like, dang, that was actually pretty bad. If I clicked Icicle Crash, I would have been in such a good spot, but I know he's going to click Roost here, so I go for my own Stealth Rock, because it's pretty obvious he was going to do that. That was, I guess, one prediction I made. Anyways, now I feel like he's going to attack me. I'm going to go to my Mega Scizor, because according to my calc, I have a pretty good chance of killing. Even if he has HP invest, well, I don't know what his HP investment is, but I feel like I can really kill it right now with Scizor. Plus, I knew he would click Aerialist since Stun Edge could potentially miss, so I knew there was no harm in going to Scizor. Even if he crit me, I lived. Anyways, as you see, I go for Bullet Punch, and it does 89%. I'm gonna check his spread because I want to know if it was a roll, if I got a high roll, low roll, mid roll, etc. And yeah, as you can see, I don't kill him, and that was pretty bad because I lose my Mega Scizor, and I lose something that can really hurt Kieran Black, something that can really hurt Vaporeon, something that can really hurt Gengar, and Electros. Basically, most of his team except for Gliscor. Anyways, I go for Ice Shard because he won't switch. It doesn't make any sense. It just dies. He could have kept it for fodder, and I could actually see it out working versus my team, but he doesn't do that. Anyways, he goes into his Gengar. I just want to damage this thing, and this thing isn't really going to do much for me. It doesn't outspeed anything. It only Ice Shard stuff, and even the Gliscor, Ice Shard doesn't do too much. So I'm just going to sack this thing. He is in Life Orb, which is interesting. I'm not sure if he's like, he might be Expert Belt, he might be like a Ghost Boosting item. Anyways, I go to my Latias. I'm going to hope he takes the bait, goes for the Shadow Ball, and he does go for the Shadow Ball. My Castleberry does absolutely nothing. Crit wouldn't have killed me either. And I go for the Psyshock, and we're back at 38% coincidentally. Get a crit Psyshock, 100% matter. It was a roll. It's going to do like 50% at the most. Luckily I got the crit. Anyways, he's going to go into his Cushmaster, and I was 100% sure he was bluffing that he was Choice, because like I mentioned earlier, he shouldn't bring a Choice Kyurem. It's not a good option versus my team. But there was a little person in my mind saying, what if he is? What if he is Choice Kyurem and you lose your win con? Then I was like, you know what? You're probably right. And I was looking at my team and I was like, you know what? Manaphy doesn't do much because I have good amount. I have checks to Gliscor with flinching, Draco, and hidden power ice from Manectrics. So I don't need the Scald, and plus Vaporeon just comes in on Manaphy every time. Of course I can go for Roost, but eventually he's going to get the burn on me, let's face it. Anyways, he goes for the D-Claw, and I'm like, I'm time to check to see if you're Choice. So basically, I'm going to go make a couple of plays. I'm going to go into my Togekiss, and yeah, I go to my Togekiss. He goes for the Dragon Claw. If he would have made a prediction there, that would have been pretty cool. And the thing is, he actually has Fusion Bolt, and he could have easily gone for Fusion Bolt to get to my Manaphy. And if he would have done that on my switch to Togekiss, I'm pretty sure I just would have lost the game right then and there, to be honest. Anyways, it's 3-4, but I'm not really worried. I'm gonna go to my Latias. I'm gonna hope he isn't Happen-Berry, and I'm just gonna click Draco. If I was Rue, I would have clicked Roost, but I didn't click Roost. And I go for the Draco Meteor, and it's gonna do a good amount of damage, proving that he is pretty physically defensive for my Mega Scizor, which made sense. I figured he was gonna bring that. Now I'm gonna see how much offense he has. I'm gonna go for Roost, and worst case scenario, he goes for like Toxic. And he goes for U-turn, does absolutely nothing, doesn't even do half of my health. Well, yeah, it doesn't do half of my health, and as a result, I know I can easily, go for Roost on the thing. Anyways, I go for Roost. He's gonna go for Knockoff. Now that I lost my item, it shouldn't be doing too much damage, but as you see, Knockoff does 52%. I'm like, that's a high roll, because he literally did 52% to me with U-turn, and that's a base 70 power move. Knockoff is base 65, so I'm like, okay. He's going to eventually get a lower roll. Does 49% that time, so I was like, yeah, I figured that would happen. Now I'm just going to go for Roost again until I feel like he isn't going to click U-turn, and I go into my Togekiss. As you see, he gets even lower roll, so I'm like, that pretty much further proves to me that he really was, that it really was a high roll the first time. Anyways, I go into my Togekiss. My Charty Berry, as you see, is literally useless at this point because the Pokemon died already. Anyways, I go for the Air Slash, hoping for the flinch, and he actually breaks through and he goes for double knockoff. I don't know why. If he had gone for like Wild Charge, I might have actually just died there. So that was pretty bad. I'm hoping for one more flinch. If I get one more flinch, I actually have a pretty good chance. And I get the flinch. I'm like, great, that's great. So I'm like, okay, time to go for a flamethrower. And as you see, he's gonna go into his Kyurem Black. And if you guys are reading the Showdown chat right now, please forget what I say right now. I was like, I think I forgot to put Lightning Rod on my Manectric. But here's the thing, I forgot Kyurem Black is pretty much a mold breaker Pokemon. So I was like, oh my god, I just look like a freaking dumbass in front of all my friends, and I feel kind of bad about that because I shouldn't have done that. Anyways, I go for T-Bolt, so I was like, hey, he actually didn't run enough, speed to outspeed a modest Manectric. That's cool. Anyways, he actually goes for Fusion Bolt again. I don't know why. Dragon Claw would have killed me, and I go for the Flamethrower. I get my Sogberry boost. It actually really doesn't matter because I outsped everything on his team, but At least I got to show off I was solid barometric. And thanks to the Draco Meteor, he is in range of an HP Ice, and surprised he didn't really go into Vaporeon, but in all honesty, it was over, because Latias cleaned up the game if he decided to go into Vaporeon. I could have actually gotten the Togekiss as well, give it some kills, because it's pretty high in my team right now for kills. Anyways, I go for, the T-Bolt, doesn't kill, sadly. And he goes for the Skull, of course that will kill me at 9%, because Manectric isn't the bulkiest Pokemon in the world, and that's 9%. Anyways, it's time to go into my Togekiss, because I'm like, you know what? Togekiss, you flinched down the threat known as Electros, and actually, no, I'm just kidding. I go to my Latias, because I'm like, Latias, you've done pretty good this game. I'm going to let you get the final kill. Could have given it to my Togekiss, but I'm like, you know what? Texas Turtwig, we're a good facility. We try to give as much kills to all of our Pokemon as much as possible. And that's basically the end of the game. So yeah, hopefully I can put my two recordings together, otherwise I'm going to be really depressed. But yeah, that's basically the match. It was pretty fun. I won 3-0. I'm now 2-0 plus 8 differential. And next week I go against the San Francisco Reggie Giants. I think it's their name. And if the sheets decide to load, I'll show you his team. But it probably won't. And it won't. So yeah, I guess I'll go over his team in the team builder next week. So yeah, that's pretty much the battle. And there's not much more to say. It was pretty good. It was definitely weird, like the double knockoff play and the double fusion bolt. It was definitely pretty strange, and he just said he was clicking moves. He was just clicking moves, and he wasn't really paying attention at times, which I don't blame him. He told me what was going on, and I was like, yeah, I don't really blame you. And I hope things turn out for him, because he actually really didn't want to battle. He wasn't in the mood. He actually wanted to forfeit, but he said he didn't want to leave me hanging. He didn't want to leave me hanging, and I said, yeah, you're a good dude, and I love you, and I hope your life gets better, and I hope things start to turn around for you, and I hope you have a good season, and I hope you have fun throughout the entire season. And yeah, basically said I hope we keep in touch, and yeah, that was basically it. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully it wasn't too choppy, too bad, and too bad. Basically, anyways, I'm Mr. Josh, and I'll be seeing you later. So au revoir and peace.